Hello, my beautiful friends, and happy Monday. Happy June 1st. My brain, I don't know about yours, is still stuck in March when all of this COVID craziness began. And the fact that like the world is going on while the world is paused is like awesome and crazy all the times. So I'm so grateful and excited to be able to chat with you today. And I was really trying to think, like, with so much going on in our world, I I was really trying to think what it was that I needed to share with you guys and what you guys needed to hear. And the thing that came to my brain was not necessarily what I would have originally thought, but I'm listening to a book called Stories That Stick right now. And she just keeps talking about sharing your story and doing so over and over and over again, even if you feel like you've shared it a million times. Maybe you haven't, or maybe something will come up that your people have never heard before, or maybe they'll hear it in a new way, or they'll emphasize it in a new way, or whatever. Laura just said, "Oh, that's so good. I just finished that book yesterday." Yes, it is such a good book. And I even had my husband listen to it with me the other day, and he was like, "This is a good book. I need to listen to this book for real." And I was like, "Yeah, you should." And it's like, it's a great book where I've learned a lot, but it's also been very entertaining. And there's some really great stories in there, stories that stick with me. And I'm like, that's a really great story. So, super great book if you want to listen to or read that. But I just wanted to share a little bit of my nutrition story. And a lot of you probably have heard bits and pieces of my story before. But long story short, and I'm not going to make this a 45-minute call because I could if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. I Growing up, high school, whatever, I was a typical high schooler. My nutrition story didn't really start until I was like 18, 19. I was almost 19 years old. It was April, 1 month before I turned 19. And I started going to Gold's Gym, which is now Vasa, at least in Utah. I don't know if it's Gold's Gym everywhere else still, but I was at Cold Stone with one of my friends. We did one of those like fill this out at Cold Stone things and you might win a free at Gold's Gym. I'm sure that's like totally a targeted thing they call everybody, right? Because like you're at Cold Stone binging on some ice cream, getting all chubby, and they're like, these people are probably going to want to get in shape soon. So whatever, it worked. And they called like the next day, like, "Hey, you won a free consultation with a personal trainer." And so me and this friend, we went in and had this free consultation, and ended up signing up with a personal trainer. And I was 18 years old, had just moved out. I was in college. I was very much getting used to like life on my own. And it was $140 a month for my personal trainer, plus like $30 for the fee for the gym. And as an 18-year-old who's just figuring out how to juggle life and bills and stuff, that was a lot of money. And there were a lot of times that I could not figure out how to pay it, and it was stressful and awful, but nevertheless made it work. And I had this personal trainer for a year, and I lost 15 pounds. I didn't have a ton to lose. So like I was like toned like crazy. But it began a very unhealthy relationship with food for me, and an emotional, yeah. I would go to the gym 6 days a week for 3 hours at least, in addition to meeting with my personal trainer once a week. And I was counting my calories like a crazy person. And there were so many days that I would hit my calories by like 9:30 a.m. because I was hungry. And I would just like eat all my calories, and then I would literally fast for the rest of the day. Or I would go to sleep like at 4 o'clock in the afternoon because I couldn't fast anymore. The temptation was getting too strong. So I would just go to sleep at like 4. And granted, like I didn't have kids or whatever, but like that is not a life. And there were times that I did go to social events and I did overeat, and I totally was in that like, okay, now I need to work it off and work out for like 3 hours and more than I did already, because whatever. It was just a very vicious cycle. And even still, when I would look in the mirror, I could tell that like clothes were fitting awesome and I was fitting into size whatever jeans and all the awesomeness, but I still saw like, but I could do better here and I could do better here. And I still have cellulite here and all the things, right? And it was just not a healthy place to be. So that was summer between my freshman and sophomore year of college. And as soon as sophomore year started, I made a dance company in college. I was literally at school from 7 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. with only one 45-minute break because I was taking 21 credits and I was on a company where we rehearsed all the time. It threw off everything. I also needed to go to work and the gym, and it was not happening. So I gained it all back. And thankfully, I didn't gain it all back and more, because I know they say that a lot, that when you go on a diet, you typically gain it all back and then some. Are you going to freak out? And thankfully, that did not happen. I just gained it back. But I was like so mad at myself, And then it started this different vicious cycle of like, just, okay, now I'm just going to do really good. And I know how to do this and I'm just going to do it. And then the second I would mess up, it would like downward spiral, like crazy downward spiral. And I would do good for like a couple days, some days a couple hours. And then like a certain point in the day, afternoon would hit, and I'd get that like tired, lethargic snackiness. And then by 3-4 o'clock, okay, whatever, I'm just going to binge on everything. And then I would literally like, that's when I would go to work. And I worked with a young man with Down syndrome, and I would literally like hide myself in his garage while he was in the bathroom or something and just like eat as many ice cream sandwiches as I could in the 2 minutes that he was gone. Like it like makes me sweat to share this type of stuff. But that was my reality. And there were times that like I'd be good till 11 o'clock at night, and then those like midnight munchies would kick in, and I would drive by myself to Macy's. I would buy an entire sleeve of peanut butter bars and eat the whole thing and throw away all the evidence and whatever. I never got to the point where I like would purge. I never like made myself throw up after. I just could not bring myself to do that. But I was definitely binging, and it was definitely a terrible mindset. So like controlling, and I don't even know what else to say. So it was awful. Fast forward several years, I struggled with this for probably a year and a half. So like every day was a battle. And then Blake came into my life, and we got married, and it was still a thing, but it wasn't as bad because I had someone in my life that I didn't want to like gain a ton of weight, and two, I was like embarrassed by my habits. And so he came into my life, and this was around the same time that I became a live fitness instructor. Because I still, at this point, I loved to work out, but I could not dial in my nutrition. And I had so many people make comments like, you are my favorite fitness instructor, but you're also the fitness instructor that's the biggest I've ever had. And I'm like, thanks. Like, I don't really, thank you. Why would you say that to me? But whatever. And I had like all this weird energy around like, okay, I love to work out, but I'm like living this like double life that like I love working out. I love teaching exercise classes, but I cannot get a freaking grip on my nutrition. And fast forward again, like I was in this place for like 5 years, and like I love to work out, but I'm just kind of in this rut of like, I love to work out. I can't get myself to stick to anything nutrition wise. I know what I need to do to lose weight. I need to count my calories again, but I hated that. And I remember a day, like even when I was at my smallest with my personal trainer when I was 19 years old, that I was on the treadmill, and I was like, if this is going to be the rest of my life, like if this is what it takes to be skinny, I don't want this. This sucks. And I didn't say it out loud and I didn't share that with anyone, but I remember thinking that. And guess what? Lo and behold, right after that was when I gained it all back. So I was 25. I had just had Holland, and I wanted to lose the baby weight. I gained 45 pounds after pregnancy, and I was really nervous because I was like, I do not want to count calories again. And I know that that's what I need to do to lose weight, but I hated that. I don't want that, but I don't want to keep on this 45 pounds forever. And so I had already been a coach for a year and 3 months. A year and a month at this point. When Holland was born, I had already been a coach for a year and a month. And yes, I'm admitting to you that I never tried the containers for a year and a month of me being a coach. But I decided, okay, whatever. I'm finally going to give these a try. I guess, like, I've seen all these people in my company that are coaches with me that have had them work. So whatever, I'm just going to give them a try. I don't even really know what to say because I'm now 29. It's 4 years later. And I have not only lost 45 pounds once, but I lost it after Holland. I lost it after Alila. And I'm almost 30 pounds down from after having Ellie, and she's 3 months old. And I didn't hate my life. And it makes me like kind of emotional because of this place that I was in mentally and emotionally, and that I was working so hard to lose the weight, and I still hated my life. Like I didn't really feel good, because there was some, like, yes, I felt good in my jeans, but there's a difference between feeling good in your jeans and feeling energetic and good. And like, there were so many days that I would just eat 6 ice cream sandwiches, and that was my calories for the day. So that's all I'd eat for the day. And because that's what the personal trainer told me, as long as I hit my calories, it doesn't matter what I eat. So whatever. And this is not to throw them under the bus, but I am so grateful for the containers, and for Autumn, and for Beachbody, for putting together this program that teaches me what to eat, and that teaches proper portion sizes, and that focuses on, yes, eat this, make sure you're getting this, make sure you're getting this, make sure you're getting this, and does it in such a way that it's totally doable. Even as a crazy busy mom of 3 kids under 4 years old, I can still do it. And I love it, and it doesn't suck. And I enjoy the food that I eat. And there are definitely still times. I had 1.5 chocolate chip cookies yesterday. But I can say, like, for real, I have overcome my binge eating disorder. I do not binge anymore. It's been 10 years, a 10-year road and journey of getting to this point. And I've gotten slowly better and better and better, but I've constantly been striving to work on it. And I really think the biggest piece is, yes, the nutrition programs, and focusing on what to eat instead of what not to eat. But I also really think that one of the biggest parts is personal development, and putting so much emphasis on growing my brain and being kind to myself. And just that concept of personal development and affirmations, and talking to myself essentially with nice words and telling myself that I can feel amazing and that I can overcome these things. And so many of my affirmations have been surrounded by, like, I am so happy and grateful now that I have conquered my sweet tooth and dinner and done. I feel amazing. I am so happy and grateful now that when I look in the mirror, I love the person I see. And And so many of my affirmations are similar to things like that. And while, like I said, yes, so much of it is around the nutrition programs and the knowledge I've gained and the things I've learned about macronutrients and portion control, and 2B mindset has helped me immensely with overcoming that binge eating and just like, you know what, I can have one and it's going to be delicious and it's a treat and it's not a cheat. And I don't have to hate my life after I enjoy a cookie. I can enjoy it. And I'll weigh myself tomorrow, or I'll track it, or I'll write it down, or I'll be accountable somehow. And so I've talked about this on millions of calls before this. I marry 2B mindset and Ultimate Portion Fix. But I can say both of those programs have definitely changed my mindset and my perspective. But I also love the emphasis that Beachbody puts on personal development. And with that, when you listen to personal development, you hear millions of people talk about affirmations and positive self-talk and all the things. So Laura says, love your story. So important to tell our stories. I'm working on the courage to tell my full story. You're giving me the inspiration to tell it. Yeah. And I was down. I had lost everything after Holland and was as small as I was when I was 19 at 25 postpartum with Holland before I got the courage to tell everything. I hadn't told a soul. I hadn't even told Blake, like, the extent of everything. And I like went live on Facebook and told my story for the first time, and I was sweating so hard. Oh, it was awful. But it gave me the courage to just say it unapologetically with so many mistakes. And there were so many people who thanked me for telling their story, because there are people out there who need what we have found. And so I wanted to share that with you, because if you're someone who's still in the thick of things and you're still like, well, honestly, I've been following XYZ, whatever, and I still don't really like what I see when I look in the mirror, just have faith and have courage to persevere and know that you're on the right track. And like, I can genuinely, I mean, I'm from that point that I was at 19, I am 38 pounds away from that point right now. And the point that I was after postpartum with Holland, I was fitting into the same size of clothes, but the scale said I weighed 15 pounds more. But I felt so amazing. And I'm going to stand up. I'm sorry, because she'll be happier. But my clothes were fitting just as well as they had when I was 19, but the scale read 15 pounds higher. And I am 24 pounds away from that number right now. And after Alila, I never got back down to my pre-Holland weight or postpartum Holland weight. And I was 6 pounds heavier, but again, I was fitting into the same clothes. And so all that to say, like, and I'm only 17 pounds away from my pre-Ellie weight. So all that to say, don't let the scale be your only measurement, because the clothes that you're trying to fit into, muscle changes things. I know your body changes a lot after each baby, and don't base your worth on the scale. Yes. But really, truly have faith and courage to know that you're on the right track, and really, truly pay attention to things like your mindset. And I know that's hard to track, but you can feel the difference when, I mean, I look at in the mirror right now, and I'm 3 months postpartum with saggy, stretchy skin and a weird belly button, and I still have cellulite, and I still got love handles and whatever, all the things. But I look in the mirror and I'm legit like, girlfriend, you look awesome. And I'm so proud of you. And it's true. Like, I really, truly believe that. And I really, truly feel that. And I don't know what has changed between that 19-year-old girl who had like the perfect body and couldn't see it, and 10 years later having the most imperfect body and still loving it anyways. But I really do think it comes down to affirmations and personal development, and just relentlessly fueling my mind with kind words about myself and believing them. So be kind to yourself, tell your story, because you never know who may need to hear it, and just keep on keeping on. Yeah, because if you're on a similar road to the one that I was on, recovery and healing are ahead, but you just have to keep going and you can't give up. So, any thoughts from anybody on the call before I end the recording? Okay, for those of you who are on the recording, I'm going to peace out. If you're on live, stay on live. We'll chat for a sec, but I love you. I think you're fabulous. I believe in you. Believe in yourself. Yes, and keep on keeping on. Cool. And remember to stay grateful and to do everything you can to spread light in this crazy world right now. Give me one sec, Kate. And remember to show the love to everybody. Yeah, everybody. 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 Yeah. Okay. I love you, my friends. We'll talk soon.